Hey people, it's nice talking. Now, I remember seeing an Instagram post about this, which I was very thankful for because it reminded me about this important but little known fact regarding black history. So, this is about Latasha Harlins, 1975 to 1991. Latasha Harlins, whose short life came to a violent end in the midst of racial tensions in Los Angeles, California, became a major spark for the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Harlins was born on July 14, 1975, in East St. Louis, Illinois, to Crystal Harlins and Vesta Akoff Sr. Akoff never met Latasha. Latasha's younger brother, Vesta Akoff Jr., was born in 1979, and her younger sister, Christina, was born in 1981. The family moved from Illinois to South Central Los Angeles in 1981 when Latasha was 6 years old. They rented a place near 89th Street and Broadway, just a few blocks from where Latasha would be murdered. Latasha's mother, Crystal, worked as a waitress in a local tavern. She was found brutally shot on November 27, 1985, in a Los Angeles nightclub. The children's maternal grandmother, Ruth Harlins, then raised Latasha and her siblings. By the late 1980s, racial tensions were high in South Los Angeles, especially between Korean store owners and African-American residents of the city. After the change in national immigration laws in 1965, a large number of Korean immigrants arrived in Los Angeles, and by 1968, the first Korean-owned market opened in South Central LA. The area was recovering from the recent Watts riots, and Koreans began buying businesses because they were inexpensive and there wasn't much competition. Long-time African-American residents in the area at first welcomed the Koreans, but eventually grew angry with them because they refused to hire black employees and often treated their customers poorly. By 1990, 65% of South Central businesses were Korean-owned, and a 1992 survey of those store owners revealed considerable racial prejudice against black customers and black people in general. Koreans, in response, argued that their attitudes evolved from high crime rates in the area and shop owners' fears of shootings and burglaries. Then why did you set up there if it was so dangerous? Latasha Harlins became a victim of these racial tensions in the morning of Saturday, March 16, 1991. She entered Empire Liquor, which was owned by a Korean family, to purchase a bottle of orange juice. As she approached the counter, Sun Ja-do, one of the store owners, accused her of stealing after seeing Harlins place the bottle in her backpack, despite her holding the $2 payment for the $1.79 price of the juice and approaching the counter to pay. Do grabbed the bag, and the two women had a violent scuffle. Harlins threw the juice barrel back on the counter and turned to leave the store when Do pulled a .38 caliber handgun and shot 15-year-old Harlins in the back of the head. Back of the head. This was not some escalated situation. She was walking away, and she cold-bloodedly killed her. Do was arrested, and her trial was held on November 15, 1991. Security camera footage which showed Harlins' attempts to pay for the juice and the subsequent scuffle between the two men convinced the jury to find Do guilty of voluntary manslaughter and called for the maximum 16-year jail sentence. Judge Joyce Carlin, however, rejected the jury's recommendation, instead sentenced Do to 5 years probation, 4 hours of community service, and a $500 fine. Okay, this is why you need to know who the judges are in your city, your county, or whatever. This guy went out of his way to ignore the jury's recommendation and gave her a sentence which didn't involve any prison time, despite shooting her in the back of the head. I mean, the method reminds me of what that Jason Van Dyke did to Laquan McDonald. When he was walking away, he then used that to then say, I feared for my life, and then, oh, well, you know. Anyway, let's keep going. The judge's decision exacerbated racial tensions between African Americans and Korean immigrants. The tension, along with the beating of Rodney King by Los Angeles police on March 3rd, 1991, became a catalyst for the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Do's store was looted, set on fire, and never reopened. Are we supposed to feel sorry? Judge Carlin also became a target for numerous protests and later stepped down from the bench. The Harlins family received a $300,000 settlement from Do's insurance company. Now, there are several thoughts that come to my mind. You know, it reminds me of what Malcolm X said when he was talking about Harlem. He said, you go to the black ghetto, you find the Japanese store, the Korean store, the Chinese store, the Jewish store, the Arab store, the Mexican store, everything. But you won't find one of ours. But when you go to any other community, you'll never find the black store. Where else was there? Anyway, this makes me think about other things. Like, first off, they said the high crime, but again, they were more than happy to move there despite the high crime and set up business. They keep saying these areas are poor, they're full of crime, yet somehow they can make enough money to live very comfortably. And I would say this. Okay, back then in the 1968, it was, I'll give them an excuse. The area was devastated and maybe the investment was welcome. But at this point in time, it's been 50 bloody years and nobody has learned a damn thing. I mean, we all saw the footage of those black women in, was it Tulsa or Oklahoma, at that Chinese or Asian whatever shop after he punched that black woman in the face. And then afterwards, when those black men were protesting outside the store, and that black woman screamed at him for refusing to allow her access to that shop. The thing is, we should have learned by now that none of these foreign-owned shops should get any patronage because they do not respect black people. I mean, I want you to really think about this. Look at a map of Korea, and where is Africa? Or even close to countries with black people, like India. These are thousands of miles away. There are no black people who make contact with Koreans. Yet these Koreans have come to America and they have such a hateful, discriminatory, and bigoted attitude to black people. No, what is that about? So, these people should be rewarded by not getting any patronage. Something is when a foreign-owned store comes to the ghetto or any black community, it should be like a seed falling on stone. It should not be able to take root. Nobody should visit it at all. And I know I've just been going on a bit about other things apart from Latasha, but these issues are related because stuff like this helps more Latashas happen. Anyway, rest in peace, Latasha. If you like this, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. You want to support this channel, leave the PayPal in the description. You can find my Instagram there. And I'll leave some of these sources here for you to read for your own information. Peace, family.